Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Chicagoland Speedway for the NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series season finale and the 100th race in series history. In the series' 5th year, we've made it to 100 races. Here in 2021, Vince Freeze joins me in the booth for 75 laps of action.
Happy to be a part of this 100th race, my guy. It is the finale. It's 39 degrees out. It's going to be a chilly one tonight. Can Audra Baranauskas and Zach Rogers have a square up fight? Will strategy get involved? Can Ellison pull off a miracle? Highly doubt it, but here we are. 20 races leads to this 21st race. Who knows what could happen? It's the final sayonara for the Leechers, too. Let's get it.
And the season length for next year is still unknown, but it is expected to be at max 20 race season. But we will probably find that out in the offseason. Carter Friesen on pole for tonight's race. He's got a shot to finish the year top 10 in the points. He's just 10 points back at Jack James. Nate Rogers, who is going for a championship tomorrow afternoon in Digital Storm Cup. He'll start second, looking for what would be his 3rd Jerky Pro win on the season. Row 2, Logan York and Deanna Jones. Row 3, Lucas Catano and Sam Young. Row 4, Gatlin Downey and Donovan Cage, the intermediate master of the Jerky Pro Truck Series. And in row 5 is Zach Rogers and Gene Sanford. James Ellison will start 15th tonight, as Audra Baranauskas starting in 20th. Now here's the thing between these 3 contenders. Audra is coming back next season. Rogers is retiring for team ownership, just going to focus solely on Bulldog Motorsports operations. And Ellison is going to be running Cup full-time next year. He'll be considered a Cup veteran with a year of experience from this year, so Ellison will not be able to come back to Jerky Pro. So Ellison, though, has the slimmest odds. Vince, 57 points back of Audra Baranauskas. Ellison needs Baranauskas to finish 41st or 42nd, and then have Rogers finish 31st or worse. And I think the only way that's going to happen is if those two have a mechanical issue or they get involved in a wreck.
At this point, man, that's all you can hope for if you're Ellison. Try to pull a Hail Mary, maybe a wreck early in the race, but we'll have to find that out. We'll have to go over some notes, too. I'll go over real quick just the past winners. And that's Jonathan's rolling in 17. And Dion Ibrahimi last for Penske. And now we'll do Untitled racing scenarios after this command in 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Driver, start your engines.
Here are the scenarios, like you were talking about, Mount Ellison. It just needs riders to finish 31st and Baranauskas 41st. Could happen, but it's unrealistic. Rogers does need that finish 4th or lower, and then Ellison cannot win a title with a 2nd place, as we said. I think
hang on. Let's be clear here. If Rogers wins the race, Audra must finish 4th or lower for him to win the title.
Right, but realistically, I think it's between Rogers and Baranauskas. Now, the funny thing is, Baranauskas on the outside, middle of the field. These truckers, they're known for hardly sliced the way up to the field at this track in the beginning. She needs to work her way to the bottom and then hope tire wear kicks in at the end of the run. Nate Rogers, though, he's looking for it could be the favorite with the experience just a little bit. Same with maybe Logan York on the bottom.
Yes, indeed. Nate's wins this season coming from Texas and Richmond. And Tringali got a win in this 9 truck back at Bristol. But yeah, Ibrahim starting 22nd tonight. Gonna be tough for him to defend this one. Quinton Moore is in the 77. Pace truck will dive it down pit road. Pit window about 31 to 33 laps. Fall off up to 2 to 3 seconds. And that top side can make it work. Green flag is out for the 100th race in Jerky Pro history. Friesen with a good jump's going to clear Nate into turn 1. We'll bring up the overlay just so y'all can see how fast they be going here.
Down the curved back stretch, if you want to call it a back stretch, down the curved stretch.
190 into turn 3, down to $167 for Carter Friesen in 3 and 4. That cloudy weather is going to bring out the most for these trucks, especially the cool weather of 39 degrees. Tire wear will probably get a pretty good effect. 190 into turn 1 as well. Down to about the same speed in turns 1 and 2. As you see there, Nate doing a great job holding off Lucas Catano by running the top line. And there is Zach Rogers. Contact's going to be made between Deanna Jones and Laura Chung. Oh, what a save! Gene Sanford's going to go into the wall, though. Oh, what is DeLello and Vince Freeze doing? They're way down into the grass. Oh, and Vince is going to get hit by Teppensaw. Up into Nicholas Joweit they go. Caution is out. What a string of events that was. Very bizarre move there by Vince to go all the way to the grass to avoid what was happening in turn 3, man. But what a save by Chung. Gene, though, got a tough lick out of that into the outside wall, but that could have been so much worse, and it would have been right in front of Baranauskas, too.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. No comment.
Rogers takes
Rogers.
7th place now. Audra Baranauskas, 17th. So this caution will help Audra. I think she was struggling on the top. Ellison is in 12th. So this will single up the field. And pit strategy here, Vince. Think about it. 31 to 33 laps, 75 lap race. You are going to be pushing yourself on each of these runs if this race goes green from here, because you might be able to make it on gas, and we're seeing some split strategies here. Some people may be thinking they can't make it from here.
Championship contenders coming down. That's Rogers.
Rogers and Ellison will pit. Baranauskas will stay out. A lot of people are staying out, Vince. This is going to be very interesting.
Oh, contact there, Max Anderson.
Well, we'll go take a look and see what brought out, or take another look at what happened there. We saw it all unfold, but we'll take another look. Nate Rogers is your race leader. Taking a look at what brought out our first caution on the night. This is where it starts in turn 3. And I think Deanna just didn't know Chung was there, gonna dive it in on her. And 3 wide here, they just get tighter and tighter, and Hudson's there, and Chung starts to lose it. Deanna slides off here. Chung manages to save this thing, but goes up into Gene Sanford and just bounces Sanford up into the outside wall. And then I'm not sure what they were thinking, but Vince Freeze and DeLello went right to the grass.
I think they were trying to go to a 4-wide situation. All I could think they panicked. We'll see.
So they're in the grass. They're decelerating a little bit. And they're going to come back up onto the racetrack. Now right there's a hole there. But they are in front of that hole. And Teppensaw just can't check up in time. And he runs over Vince Freeze. Joweit gets clipped too. So all 3 of these guys go up into the outside wall. Gene Sanford's just gonna miss this.
Post call, so is, I think, the 37 of Smith. He'll miss that.
Collins got into Bishop there a little bit.
They're all on the apron on the bottom. They'll clear it.
Oh, that is it there. So let's take you guys to the race restart. Getting ready to go back racing. The top 22 drivers on track stayed out. Zach Rogers 25th, Ellison 28th, Baranauskas in 11th. Nate Rogers will lead him back to the green flag. As Patrick Smith has fallen a lap down after an issue on pit road. Split strategy, Vince. As you see Patrick coming up the inside line as a lap down truck, as he is allowed to do. Downey's going to make a quick move here on turn 1 on Logan York. Trying to get second place. That's the best time to use the bottom in 1 and 2 is when you're getting up to speed, because we know the top side will come into play here into turn 3. Let's see, does York pinch him down? No, not really. Quinton Moore inside the top 10. Here comes Baranauskas. Right now, though, she's got to be thinking about strategy. What can she do here? How long can she stretch it? Because, you know, tire wear will be a thing, but if Rogers can stretch it to, say, maybe, if it goes green from here, let's say Rogers pits on lap, let's say like 39. Rogers could stretch it to 71 or 72 and just take fuel only. That could put him in a good spot. So, you know, what does Audra's team have to do here? As right now, Rogers is moving up through the field with those newer tires.
Yeah, Audra's got to run. Donovan Cage, he's no slouch. He knows how to get a win at intermediate track. I'm surprised Brad Lewis is up here in Vargas. They've been, well, Brad Lewis has come on. It's like Vargas, he's been kind of slim. But Nate Rogers leads. We know his experience down in this series expected.
How about
Zach
Roy
Rogers is
Ribbleton?
trending. Yeah, Ribbleton's up here. Zach Rogers got a dice for this field, too. You can get the top 15 early on this quick run just to cut off that quick yellow. He's on the outside.
I may be mistaken, but I believe this team, Nice Motorsports, will be a 2-truck operation next season. Looking to expand, looking to be another one of those top Chevy teams. Ribbleton, though, no plans for him to come back, so not sure who will be in this truck. But, you know, iRacing on the hood of this 45 machine, having a decent run right now. As Audra moves it up to 8th place. You know, we talked about the championship, Vince. Top 5 battle is a couple of guys who could still get over Max Anderson for 5th in the standings. Not that it means much down here. And then top 10, there's a couple of guys there that could get over Jack James, such as Hudson, Friesen. Jean Sanford got on the wall. I don't know about her chances. Benjamin Ice, and then Ibrahimium is, I believe, too far behind to jump. Yeah, he is too far back. But Ice, Sanford, Jean Sanford, that is, Friesen, and Hudson with a chance to finish top 10 in the standings if they play things right tonight. And then Rookie of the Year battle between Deanna Jones and Laura Chung. 5-point difference coming into tonight's event. So far, Deanna doing a good job there. She's up here in the top 5.
Zach Rogers back there in the Hornets nest there 4 wide.
Nate Rogers lead, Gatlin second, Sam Young third, Deanna and York side by side for 4th, Baranauskas side by side with Cage. As you got Quinton Moore up here. Quinton looking for his 2nd Jerky Pro win on the season. Remember, no leeches next year. Quinton unable to get a Digital Storm win so far this year, but this extra track time might help him out. As Downey looking the Nate's outside for the race lead. How about this man right here, Gatlin Downey? No confirmed plans for him next season.
Damn young there. Just look at the lines. They're definitely starting to move up a little bit. Tire wear for these guys who have not pitted yet will come and play a factor. Now, what is let's see. Here's Baranauskas. Just hovering around Quinton Moore area. That's not a bad place to be, around 8th, 9th.
She's going to take 8th. Where is the 39 and the 48? Oh, there's Ellison. Ellison is currently... See, that time by, he is 21st. They have been able to make little headway. Rogers is down here in 24th to the inside of Ice, so the tire wear has not really kicked in yet, Vince. You know,
Stabilized.
they only went, what, 3 laps? 3 laps? So not a big advantage. Not even really sure if they took tires, actually.
Huh.
See if we can take a look-see here. And actually, no. It was fuel-only pit stops for the 39 and the 48. So that was merely a top-off stop, sacrificing track position. So maybe they do think they can make it to the end on one more pit stop.
Well, that's the thing, right? One of those stops where you just need maybe an adjustment or two, but if you do have that... Ooh, it's getting dicey back there for a second. Looks like it's sorted out. If you can top off, though, things can happen at the end where the strategy, like you said, could be a fuel-only game plan, as you see everyone's kind of up the pace. No one really off the pace tonight. It's always
Right.
good to see the finale.
And just think, a lot of these guys back here, right? So a lot of these guys, they pit just to top off the gas. And, I think Rogers, I saw, took about a 2-second top off to Ellison's, which was only about a second. So we'll have to see how that extra fuel plays in the hands between the 39 and the 48, but they are going to have to make their way through the field here on talent alone, as they've got the same tires as the drivers at the front, as Downey and Nate Rogers continue the race for the lead. Baranauskas has made it up to 6th place.
Another thing, too, is Penske seems to have a really good package of Chicago. Ibrahim won last year. Sam Young's looking like he's trying to win tonight. Wonder if they have something magical figured out, as Baranauskas looks underneath 5th for Jack James.
Deanna Jones getting a bit of a push from Audra there to get to the inside of Gatlin Downey. See, Varga's doing a good job tonight, still in the top 10. Not a whole lot of stuff going on here at the front, just a lot of moving around in the lines.
Ooh, here we go.
Pit window's going to open up in about 10 laps for those that stayed out. As Deanna peeks to the inside of Downey. It's just been Nate Rogers again. Vince, on the intermediates a lot this year in Jerky Pro, the Cup drivers have just come down here and just led the way. Sam Young hasn't had the season he had last year, 16th in the points, but he's been running a lot of Cup races. He's been running in the Cup Series this year. And that experience is going to really probably play into his hands next year as he goes for the lead here on Nate Rogers, but he can't get it to bite to the bottom.
Yeah, I think Sam Young too knows this is one of those confidence builder races. You're not really here for a championship or a glory race. You're just here for the win. And Downey get a little loose there in a quarter entry.
Baranauskas up to 4th.
Yeah, that's one of the outside Deanna Jones. That outside line's got some flavor to it at the end of those runs.
They're single file through the field, so I think slim odds for another yellow. Audra will dive to the inside of Downey, trying to take 3rd from him. She will do just that. Now the question is, what can Ellison and Rogers do with that extra fuel in the tank? Ellison has made it up to 19th. Looking to the outside of Nereza for what would be 18th. And Rogers is right there with him. Rogers has started to put it on. Looking for what would be 20th on Josiah Robinson. Fastest lap on the night goes to Colt Hudson, a 29.557. Catano right there with him with a 586. And then Deanna Jones and York both below a 29.7. Ellison will make a crossover here. That's going to be a 3-wide move as Bouchard had to jump up the track. We've seen it all year at these intermediates, Vince, with the heavy tire wear. Is the rookies, they can run up front for a while, but once you hit that cliff, they start dropping down the order.
Yeah, I think Ellison knows, too, in the back of his mind, he doesn't have any shot at this championship as of right now. It's just going out there and getting a win. This is his last truck race, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and he has not won this year, but 5 top 5s, and 12 top 10s for Ellison. Ellison looking to get top 10 number 13. I believe that would be a record holder on the season, possibly by himself if Audra doesn't get a top 10 finish. But right now looking like Audra in very good form, as we've got a big battle for the lead right now.
Look at this.
Audra right behind Nate Rogers for the lead. Looking to pass Sam Young for second. Gonna make it 2 wide.
Almost.
Sam Young checked up. How about Audra Baranauskas showing Nate Rogers what's up?
Audra Baranauskas saying, "What's up, play? I'm here to play." Now, what can Audra Baranauskas do right now at the front, though, in terms of fuel? That's the thing. If you lead this race, you burn fuel. I would definitely try to get some draft. Draft is more important in this series than the Cup Series. Especially, I think Zach Rogers is, 4 seconds back? Ellison's about 4 seconds back minimum.
Ellison is closing the gap, though. He's up to 15th place. Oh, we might have pit stops already.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Young just went high for some reason. Oh, no, Logan York's coming in.
No, we did. We have
Lap 27. That's actually a lot earlier than I expected.
that would mean it'd be a clear two-stop, and I don't know if you can stretch the fuel.
Or perhaps they just know that they're gonna have to pit early. They're gonna have to pit before the finish again anyway, so they might be just short stopping it here. Oh, I think a lot of the leaders might be coming in this time by though. Audra's gonna stay out. Ellison stays out, of course. So everybody, most of the people who stayed out under that caution have just come to pit road. But Audra and Jack James, they stay out. Now that puts Ellison right up into the mix. Same with Zach Rogers. This is that turning point in the race, Vince, where, I mean, look at them. They are really hovering the bottom, trying to use as little fuel as possible. But I think Audra's going to come in here, come in the lap 30. Ellison's going to have to check up. But there's the top three for the drivers that pit under caution. Ellison, Brad Lewis, and Zach Rogers.
Now the question is, how far do they go? As you can see, Rogers is running the middle. Ellison will probably stay out a couple more laps. Let's say lap 33 could be a good window.
Tire wear has reached about 2.5 to 3 seconds. So you don't want to stay out too long because you're going to lose a ton of time with tires. Yeah, Ellison's actually going to pit now. So Ellison stretched it. Ellison stretched it another lap. Rogers is going to stretch it a second lap.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough to just take a fuel only on the second run. I don't see it. Is that Ibrahimian back there?
Yes, Ibrahimian staying out. Lucas Catano. Laura Chung. There's Audra. Logan York with his undercut's going to be the leader once this cycles out. So Rogers made it to 31. It looks like, though, you can only go about 27 to 29 laps, Vince. So everybody should be back down around lap 60. Or lap 55 to 60, actually. So York will be the leader. Roy Ribbleton is going to be second, it seems. Nate Rogers third, Sam Young fourth, Baranauskas fifth. Baranauskas, though, I don't think with much to worry about is there's James Ellison just coming out of the pit lane. But what would it mean for the 2019 Jerky Pro champion to win here at Chicagoland?
He's had pretty good success at finales, I think, in the past at Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he just finished second in Digital Storm last week at Pensacola.
Yeah, good momentum. Good big mo on his side. Now, Roy Ribbleton, in all fairness, I don't know if he's going to last up here later in this run. That could be a spot for Baranauskas, and you just wonder if Nate Rogers is going to save a little something as the tires start to wear. Just for the win purposes. Baranauskas just needs to get, top three, I think, and that could look good.
Looking at our champion list here, Philip Goldberg with 1 win in 2017 to win the championship. James Qualls with 2. Logan York won his 2 career races in his 2019 title. And then Keith Rich won both of his races in his 2019 title. So, Rogers would be another name to add to that list of, got his only career wins in the season he won the championship. If Audra gets that, Audra would break that, that like streak of just drivers winning in their championship season, not winning in any other season. But Audra will definitely be back next year. So I think, Vince, even if Audra doesn't get it here tonight, she is going to have a very, very good chance next year, too.
Without even dropping the green flag at Daytona for 22. Definitely one of the favorites, for sure.
Well, York is being caught in the draft here. It's just been a few laps. Ribbleton, Nate Rogers, Sam Young, they are all running about 0.2 faster. Baranauskas will start getting some draft here from Jonathan Wong, Jack James, and Christian Vargas. Ellison. Where is Ellison? There he is. He's in 22nd place with some of the freshest tires on the track. But where did Zach Rogers go?
Oh.
He is in 35th. So staying out really hurt the 39. Even if this goes green, Vince, I don't think this was the strategy call for the 39 team.
Yeah, that caution might have cost him the win here. Maybe not the win of the race, but a championship. We'll see, though. I think stranger things have happened, and there could be I don't think there's any lap trucks tonight. Let's see.
No, there are none. Patrick Smith is a lap down, but he is up to speed. Chung and Vince Freeze maybe, but I don't know. Battle's on, though, at the front here for the lead. Audra's looking pretty good, though. I think the call to stay out was great. You know, I think if Rogers... I don't understand why Rogers' team didn't put tires on it under that first caution.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
They were going to gain so much track position if they did that. Not taking tires, I think, is the thing I would beat myself up for here, because that call doesn't make a lot of sense when, you know, the field's re-racking. And why would you just pit for gas at the beginning of the race? You're supposed to do that at the end of the race. Especially now that it seems nobody's going to make it on one stop anyway. They're all going to have to pit around lap 60.
Man, we started the season in Daytona with confusion on strategy, and I think we might end it here, too. Baranauskas pulling away.
Audra's doing very good here in 5th. She got caught by them, and now she's pulled away. She's dialed it in. Nate Rogers has passed Ribbleton for 2nd. Let's see what the gap is seconds-wise. So Audra's all the way up here. 39 is 11 seconds. He's 10 seconds behind Audra. I don't think you're going to make that up on track. You need a caution. Nate's going to go to the top side on Logan York. He's going to get right to his quarter panel there in turns 3 and 4. Nate trying to make the pass along the top side.
There's Baranauskas, probably going to snip that draft even more. It looks like, no, Nate will have to back off.
Nate didn't get Nate didn't get any draft help now, as Sam Young will look to the inside of Ribbleton. Nate will run the top again. This time he's got help from Ribbleton in the draft. Sam Young not really doing the 33 any help here. Ribbleton's going to peek to the inside. Now Baranauskas enters the picture. I think Baranauskas has a good shot at a win, Vince.
I think so, too. 3 wide. Baranauskas is looking. Yep, sticks it in there.
3 wide with Ribbleton and Sam Young for 3rd place as Nate goes to the outside of York again. Probably his best shot here with these guys 3 wide. Audra's going to pass both of them.
Yeah, I think Audra Baranauskas definitely with that strategy. The draft, she just seems to be the best truck tonight to suck up to the leaders. Even with the draft, and you see Nate and Logan York are pretty evenly matched in the 1 and 2.
Side-by-side battle for the lead is going to make it easy for Audra to close up here, as it looks like Nate will clear York down the curved back straightaway. But Audra up to 3rd. Ellison still in 22nd. Zach Rogers up to 32nd, but he's closing the gap. If we have a caution from lap 47 on, they'd be in the window. Go ahead, Vince.
He needs to slice his way through the field fast. As you see, it looks like Ribbleton's falling back, and Christian Vargas and Wong are catching it slowly.
I mean, perhaps a 2-tire stop on that 2nd stint might give Rogers a better chance, but I don't think it would outlast. You know, we saw the strategy games last year, but I don't think it would work out this year. I think there's too many laps, even if you take 2. York's actually doing a good job of holding off Baranauskas here, but Baranauskas gets to his outside. There's a 2-lap difference there. I don't think he's going to hold her off here for long. So the rest of the field has been unable to close the distance. I'm not sure who else pit with Baranauskas. We know Ellison pit the lap after. Ellison still not cracked the top 20. There he is. Trying to hold off Benjamin Ice, just not going anywhere. There's Zach Rogers. He has cracked the top 30. He's got the freshest tires on track, Vince, but he's just kind of getting roadblocked here.
Yeah, it's hard to make time. I said about this in the pre-race, right? This place, it's multi-grooves, but it's also it's kind of a roadblock detour. You got slower trucks everywhere. DeLello, who was in the grass, not only I don't know how fast he is, and even if he gets to the top 15, would have used everything up. That's the thing.
Hudson's still with the fastest time on the track. The pit window is about 10 laps away.
Baranauskas the second.
The other thing to consider here, too, with Rogers is he's back here in 30th, but all these guys around them, they pit on the same lap as Ellison. So they've only got 1 lap older tires compared to Rogers. Rogers is really going to dive it past DeLello here. What a move. But they are all moving forward. They are all closing the gap. You know, even while Rogers is kind of getting held up by these guys, they're still closing on the leaders. So it is a huge group effort, and that could be also why Ellison is not really going forward, is because they have yet to hit the guys that pit, 1 to 2 laps before them.
Because look at this, Vargas and Wong are just caught the main pack, and Jack James isn't too far behind. We're about to have 8 trucks in the pack here soon.
How about Henry Sanford out of nowhere inside the top 10? And you're right, Jack James and Wong plus Vargas, they caught the top 5. Sam Young back up the 3rd, as now it's a battle between Audra and Nate Rogers. And this win would mean a lot for Audra because it would be her 7th career win. She would win the title, obviously, as she came in as the points leader. And, most wins out of all drivers going into 2022. And it's rumored to be believed, Vince, that if Audra gets this championship, she has an offer on the table to run her rookie season a cup next year.
Honestly, I was just about I wonder what she could do. I don't know if she was one of those hot seat drivers in an All-Star race. But
yes, she was.
Yeah, I think she could do something. We could see something for her if she gets that rookie offer.
Was only Pigs Creek, but Audra, she's got a pretty good shot, I think, at running pretty good in Cup. Right now, though, trying to get by Nate Rogers for the race lead. Really closing in on that pit window now, Vince. Honestly, I think you gotta, if you're Zach Rogers, I think you gotta undercut here, and you gotta undercut now, because you are likely not gonna you're not gonna have a slower pit stop. He's up to 25th, but he's still 7.5 seconds behind, and I just don't think, it's gonna be a 4-tire stop either way. This thing looks like it's going green, so I think you're better off pitting before she comes in. But you never know, you said it. This year's been crazy. But Rogers is up to 25th. Ellison has still been able to not go anywhere. Brad Lewis, though, stayed out with them, and he's up here on 16th place.
The rookie.
He's on the same tires as Ellison. Remember, Logan York, he pit the earliest out of everybody, along with Ribbleton on the last stint, so we'll see how early he pits this time. Baranauskas just lost second to Sam Young.
Telling you, man, Penske has something to figure out at this place. Now, the thing is, if Logan York comes in the earliest, he held up, let's say, Rogers Baranauskas, took a little bit to get up to speed, let's say 2 or 3 laps. That could play a factor as they're slowing down a little bit here.
I don't think anybody's pitting. It's just they're running the grooves, Vince. They're throwing
I think
us
the tire
off.
fall off. The tire fall off is definitely probably, what, 2 seconds?
About 3.
Oh, man, yeah, it's getting pretty bad. I think pretty soon you'll start seeing trucks go to that low line and save a little fuel at the end of this run.
Rogers up to 21st now, passing Ellison, but still 7 seconds back. And they're just running all kinds of different grooves here, Vince. They're trying to throw us off, make us think they're not pitting. Ooh, Audra got really close there. But if anybody pits first, it's probably going to be this 33 truck.
Someone's joining the pitch. That's Sanford.
That is. Henry Sanford. Yeah. Henry Sanford in 9th. How about Stephen Colon? Quiet day. He's in 10th. Owen Miles. Owen Miles is in that fight for Rookie of the Year. He came in 22nd in the points. 28 points behind Deanna. So he needs a little more. Nate, though, continuing the lead at the front. Audra's going to go for second again on Sam Young, but Sam shuts the door. Rogers has cracked the top 20. Zach Rogers, that is. He's up to 19th. Trying to close all the time he can. Remember, he came out 11 seconds behind the leader. He's got it down to 6.7 seconds. But he's just not gonna be like kind of there. Nate's gonna be actually the first to pit. Vince Freeze is already on pit road. So Nate, York, Ribbleton, they will all pit together here. Carrillo is coming in, as is Gatlin Downey. Oh, some people pitting late there. That got dicey. It's Jawit DeLello, Bouchard, Gene Sanford, Teppensaw. All right, so if you're Baranauskas here, what do you do? When do you pit? Do you want to pit as late as possible? Or do you want to pit now? I think Sam Young's coming in. Vargas is going to be in the way. If Baranauskas wanted to pit there, she won't. Wong's coming in. Cologne. There's Zach Rogers. So now, like, Rogers, remember, he's got 2 laps on Baranauskas. How much time can he close here? The gap is down to 5.6 seconds, but I still don't think the strategy game is going to work in his favor.
Baranauskas pitting.
Baranauskas is pitting this time with Christian Vargas. Zach Rogers is going to pit this time. It's going to let him close. Move. That's going to let him close in a big mount on pit road. Ellison came with. Oh, Mitchell Collins and Vargas made contact on pit road. Did anybody stay out? Ibrahimian and Lucas Catano did.
I don't know about Ibrahimian. I think he's just throwing a Hail Mary. Maybe just go a little longer. Call it 2 tires.
That was a good call by Rogers, though. He was able to dive it in the pit road, pit the same lap as Baranauskas. He's still going to be probably 3 to 4 seconds behind her, but draft here, Vince, it might get crazy.
Actually, I don't think Vince Freeze will be a problem, but he could. He could. I don't think so. No.
Well, there's Audra. She comes out of pit road. Rogers is way back here. It's still going to be tough, but look at all the drivers that undercut this time. Nate Rogers and Logan York are way up ahead. Roy Ribbleton, Wong, Carrillo, Sam Young. Audra's going to come out here. So let's see, where's Audra compared to Rogers at the start-finish line? What is the gap going to be? So there's the 21. And there's the 39. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought. There's a lot of draft play going to go on here, but I don't know how much it's going to play out. Ibrahimian, there you see, he is going to be way, way back. So Rogers outside of the top 20 again. Baranauskas inside the top 10. She's going to fall in line behind teammate Stephen Cologne. So Baranauskas actually fell behind the lead. She is 5.8 back. Rogers is 6 behind her. There's a lot of draft going on here, though, Vince, so I'm not sure how much Rogers will even be able to close. I think Audra's got this thing in the bag, but there's still 14 laps of action left.
Yeah, I think Audra's moving up a little bit, too, because Catano and Ibrahimian fell down new. They're up to 8 now. I think just stay right there behind your teammate and let him coach. Oh, looks like Logan York's running a little lower line. Get some clean air in the nose. And let him coach to the finish, and that will be your champion right there. But for Nate, though, he's looking for one thing, and that was just experience to come down here for tomorrow. I wonder what he's thinking right now, too.
Well, that clean air didn't help Logan York at all. He lost a ton of time to Nate doing that. And that's going to let the second pack kind of close up a bit because now Nate doesn't really have draft.
That's what he wants. He wants that second pack to get in the fight. Sam Young's in that pack, for sure. He's definitely in there.
Sam Young, I believe, pit the second lap. The drivers in front of him, they pit the same lap as the top two. I don't know about Wong, actually. Wong might have stayed out. But Audra, Henry Sanford moving forward over Stephen Cologne. Everybody's in the draft here.
There's Zach.
Rogers in 22nd place. Just going to be tough for him to do anything. He needs a caution really bad and really soon. Well, I think Audra's got it in the bag, Vincent. You know, just think about last season. All that bad luck on pit road kept her out of the playoffs by just 1 point. By 1 point, it kept her out of the playoffs. You know, she was 1 point outside top 25. And now, you know, the full season format this year has really benefited Audra Baranauskas because, for one, it's been all about consistency, and for two, you know, she just hasn't had the same problems she had last year, and that has really helped out this 21 team.
That's what you need, right? You have to learn from your mistakes. Give me there, Cole. And just take that as revenge and motivation into the next preceding year. And that's what, like you said, Baranauskas did. But the no playoffs, I think certain people perform better with pressure, and some people like the consistency. And that'll be a debate for next year as we move on to 2022 with Cup Series 1.
Audra and Henry Sanford are closing the gap. It'll be 9 to go. I don't think they have a shot at the win. Not unless these guys start fighting. The four truck pack behind the top two is catching 2. Don't count out Jonathan Wong and Sam Young from a shot at a win here, but Nate Rogers has had pretty good control over this race all night. It's just not going to work out for Rogers or Ellison. The strategy called to stay out or pit under the caution. So pitting under the caution for Ellison and Rogers on lap 3. They took fuel only, no tires. And that's what I think is going to cost them. Pitting, not so much that they pitted. The fact that they didn't take tires. I think that was the wrong strategy call to make. I think you needed to take tires there because that would have given you... We've seen what 2-lap fresher, 3-lap fresher tires have done on this green flag stint, Vince. And, you know, I think that would have helped them just push through the field and be leading before the next cycle of pit stops. And they probably would be up here right now. But instead, they ran in 20th the whole run.
Yeah, that call didn't make no sense. And at that point, you might as well just say you lost it. You just give up track. What's more important at Chicagoland? Yes, tires and track position, but early in the round like that, TP is always going to win out. Track position, especially with the early yellow like that, you always take the over in terms of strategy and go with the stay out. Now the question is, the games are beginning with Rogers and York. You see Rogers is running that lower line in the back, and York's looking for the cleaner on the high side. Maybe he learned something.
Jonathan Wong is continuing to close in from the draft. Wong is actually pulled away from the 2 behind him. He is running about the same laps as the race leader, Nate Rogers. As we see, Sam Young has gotten by Roy Ribbleton. What a night for Ribbleton, though. Coming in 39th in the points. I don't know if he's gotten a top 10 on the season. Let's take a quickie look here. He has 2 top 10s, actually, so this would be top 10 number 3. I'd say he's got a pretty good shot considering Jack James is 5 seconds behind him. And then Baranauskas and Henry Sanford, Vince. I don't know, man. They are closing fast here, but I just think there's too many trucks to get by.
I don't think Audra Baranauskas care one bit. Just stay right there, avoid the problems. And doesn't matter if you win the race. The championship will matter more. And Jonathan Wong lost 2/10 on that lap. He's starting to fade a bit. Might be just down 2.
Nate ran faster the other time by. That time by, though, Wong really closed it up. Nate only ran a 31.0. 30.6 for Wong. We might have a race on our hands after all. You see York, Wong. Nate's the only one running down here. That's not giving him any draft. Real quick, though, Vince, before we get into this finish, if Baranauskas gets a top 5, she'll have 9 top 5s, 13 top 10s on the season. That'll be the most in both categories. 3 laps to go.
Nate kind of could be getting a draft. A slight one off Vince Freeze in the back, but it's It's got to be the slightest of margin. That's all I'll say.
I don't. He's 4/10 off pace, but I'm not sure. Wong now. Wong has caught Logan York. Wong's looking for a win. Remember what happened to him at Pukekohe. Took the lead, got dumped. 2 laps to go. No plans for Jonathan Wong to return next year either, Vince. Same with Gatlin Downey. Those two have been very good this year. We didn't expect them to be, but they have been. Downey is nowhere near here to get a win, but Jonathan Wong might have a shot at this thing.
He's got to use that topside momentum here. He's going to snooker for the draft. I think I would have stayed on the outside and tried something. I don't think that's going to help you win the race, but he's going to get a little bit better run.
White flag. White flag will be in the air for Nate Rogers. Can he get his 3rd Jerky Pro win on the season? Or does Jonathan Wong have something to say about it? Wong's going to run the top. Trying to get the run. You can see it there in the corner. He's going to be to his outside, down the back straightaway into turn 3 with help from Logan York.
Ooh.
Side by side to the checkered flag. Wong did not pinch him enough. And Nate Rogers will win at Chicagoland.
And Audra Baranauskas will take home this championship in 6th place.
Your 2021 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series champion, Audra Baranauskas. 2nd year in a row, the 21 for GMS Racing has won the championship. And the 21 for GMS is the same to the 22 of Team Penske in Cup. 2 different drivers, 2 championships. James Ellison finished out the race in 24th place. And Zach Rogers got it up to 17th. But this woman right here, oh man, I'm losing my voice. This woman right here is your 2021 Jerky Pro Truck Series champion.
It's all good, man. I was just going to say it's pretty fitting. I actually took a victory lap there to salute the fans. I mean, what can you say? Audra Baranauskas has been the most consistent all season. Just think it was meant to be. And for Zach Rogers, that's a questionable pick call that he'll have to regret. Well, I guess when he goes to the team ownership side, so he kind of knows all ins and outs.
And I would think Rogers will be having a talk with the crew chief. I'm sure Rogers thought it made sense to pit, but to not take tires, I don't think is what he expected the team to do at all. But what a race. Nate Rogers wins. Could that be a sign of things to come tomorrow? He is in the finale for Digital Storm. And a Chevy, no less. Tomorrow we'll have 3 Chevys and a Ford going for the championship. But yeah, what a season. And what a race.
Good season, man. I want to say thank you to everyone for watching this. 100th race for this series. Should be a good one next year if we get to 20. If not, 15. We'll have a range. But we'll see you guys in 22 for another action-packed JPTS season.
That'll do it for us. We'll see you guys tomorrow.